Up in a little canyon. We're out there just before sunset, hiking around. There's supposed to be a little big arch out there, and it turned out to be a little bitty thing. Not much of any, not very impressive. Camp area back in a little canyon. This is where Tony got some kind of little bugs in her hair off the trees. More of the local scenery around there. We're leaving the next morning. A little town out in the middle of nowhere. Got up, blew it away. More scenery. Supposed to be a petrified log there somewhere around where Eric is at. I think there is a bit there. More scenery shots. It was hot and dry and rocky there. There wasn't a bit of soil hardly. This is over in central Utah. It was just barren, hot rock. The ground we stayed at, it was built by the Bureau of Land Management. It was up in a little canyon, a little creek like that flowed down through it. It was a really neat place. Real cool, had trees and water, kids played in the water. Like a trail here, goes up the canyon. Seeing where it went. Thing goes on up through there. Hills there. The camp through there, you can barely see the blue van. There's Tony, I think, dabbling in the creek down there. Out of the camp. Heading on. Here they are in the snow. We're going up over a big old mountain pass. They just opened up the road. We're about the first ones to go through this road this spring, and it's opened up and there's a lot of snow and they're still working on it. A lot of times we had to stop and wait for the grader to get out of the way. This is a Green River, Utah. We stopped at the little campground there. It was down by the stockyard and it stunk to high heaven and back, so never mess around in Green River, Utah. We're heading back over toward Colorado now, coming in from the western side. Just around, probably coming in near Gunnison, Colorado. There's a little town called Rifle. This is slides out of sequence, but this was in the museum down at Mesa Verde. They found this skull down there. They said it was of a young woman that had an arrowhead embedded in her skull there. They had a museum there full of all kinds of good stuff like that. And there's Mom, conked out. Her and the Dee Dee dog. Here we are on our way over to Pikes Peak. Scenery shot. There's Pikes Peak. And there everybody is in windy Pikes Peak. Look at Dee Dee's ears. Here we are heading off into a hike. Eric's leading the way with a pack. This was an area up near Rocky Mountain National Forest. It's sort of northwest of Denver. And we hiked back in this big old valley, and big old storm come up there and ran us out. Boy, we got out just ahead of it, Eric. Monarch Pass. This is in the Rocky Mountain National Forest, and I think we're hiking back towards an old, supposed to be an old ghost town they told us about. We was hiking back in the hills, and there's some Rocky Mountain sheep up there ahead of us. We were heading back into a place called, they were supposed to be Lulu City. It's supposed to be an old gold mining town. There wasn't much left of it when we got back there. It's a lot of wilderness back there. Beat all, it started raining on us. And there we go, slogging through the wilderness. It was about all was left back there. It was a few old ruined cabins. And there's an old miner's cart. Some old abandoned gold mines back in there, but wasn't too much left of Lulu City. There's another mountain goat in there in the center there somewhere. Pretty little beaver pond back in there. Took this the morning we were leaving that area. That's the valley that Lulu City was in. We hiked up from the south. Lulu City is right down that area there. That's the valley we hiked through the day before. We're going on up now through northwest of Denver. We're heading up toward Cheyenne, Wyoming, going over the mountain pass there. Into Wyoming now. Heading up towards Cheyenne. It's getting pretty close to July the 4th, because I think the next day we got there, and that was Tony's birthday. She spent July the 4th in Cheyenne, Wyoming. We spent the July the 4th touring Cheyenne, Wyoming there. We camped at a little campground outside of Cheyenne. They had an old West Museum there, and it's one of the old stagecoaches that used to run on the Overland Trail. This is an area where the Oregon Trail passed, and right over through here. Wait a minute, that's where the Overland Trail went. It went out through there. Yeah, the Overland Trail passed passed right through here. It's an old marker there. That's a little town called Centennial.